There's a moment you've experienced more times than you admit, not once, not twice, but enough that it should have meant something by now. A woman looks at you, not in an obvious way, not exaggerated, not trying to be seen, just long enough for you to feel it, and then she smiles, not a big smile, not a loud one, just enough to register. And then it's gone. She looks away. The moment passes, and instantly, without even thinking, you explain it. It's nothing. She's just being polite. She probably smiles at everyone. So you dismiss it. You move on. You erase it before it even has a chance to exist. Now here's the part most men never stop to question. Why do you do that? Why is your first instinct not curiosity but dismissal? Because if you're honest, it's automatic. You don't analyze it. You don't explore it. You shut it down immediately. And that reaction didn't come from nowhere. It was learned over time, quietly, repeatedly. You were taught that attraction should be obvious, that if a woman is interested, you'll know, she'll make it clear. She'll give you undeniable signals. She'll remove the uncertainty. So when something subtle happens, something quiet, something that doesn't fit that expectation, you reject it because it doesn't match the script you were given. But here's the truth most men never hear. Attraction doesn't announce itself. It reveals itself softly, briefly, in moments that are easy to miss if you're not paying attention. And more importantly, if you don't trust what you're seeing. Now let's slow this down, because this moment is not random. It's not accidental. It's not meaningless. Human behavior doesn't work like that. People don't react without reason, especially not in subtle ways, because subtle behavior requires awareness. It requires feeling. It happens before logic steps in. So when she looks at you and smiles, that moment already passed through something deeper, before her mind had time to explain it, before she had time to filter it, before she had time to control it. And that's exactly why it matters. But you don't let it matter, because the second it happens, your mind steps in, and your mind is trying to protect you. From what? From uncertainty, from being wrong, from misreading the situation, from believing something that might not be true. So instead of allowing the moment, you shut it down. You choose safety over awareness. And the cost of that decision is something most men never realize. You start disconnecting from reality. Not completely, but subtly, moment by moment, signal by signal. You train yourself to ignore what you feel, and over time, that becomes your default. You stop trusting your perception. You stop believing what you see. You start needing confirmation for everything. And when confirmation doesn't come, you assume nothing is there. That's how most men become invisible, not because they are, but because they stop recognizing when they're seen. Now think about this. How many times has this happened to you? How many moments like this did you brush off? How many times did you feel something and immediately cancel it? And later, you wondered, was that something? Did I miss something? Did that mean anything? That question only exists because you didn't stay in the moment long enough. Because you didn't allow it to register, because you didn't trust it. And here's where everything shifts. The moment itself was never the problem. Your interpretation was. Because you weren't seeing reality. You were filtering it through doubt, through past beliefs, through outdated ideas about how attraction is supposed to look. But attraction is not supposed to look obvious. It's supposed to be felt, quietly, subtly, in passing moments that don't demand attention, but reward awareness. And the men who understand this don't react differently. They don't chase. They don't assume. They don't force anything. They simply notice. They allow the moment to exist without rushing to define it, without trying to control it, without needing it to become something more. And that is where everything changes. Because the moment you stop dismissing and start noticing, you begin to see a pattern. You begin to realize this wasn't a one-time thing. This wasn't random. This wasn't meaningless. It was consistent. You just weren't paying attention. And once you see that, you can't unsee it. You stop questioning every small signal. You stop shrinking every moment. You stop assuming that nothing is there. Because now, you're actually seeing. And when a man starts seeing clearly, he doesn't need validation anymore. He doesn't need confirmation. He doesn't need everything explained. He understands. And that understanding starts with one simple shift. Stop ignoring the moment. Now we need to go deeper, because the real issue was never the moment. It was never her. It was never the signal. It was you. Not in a negative way, but in a conditioned way, because somewhere along the line, you stopped trusting your own perception, and you didn't even realize when it happened. It wasn't one moment. It was gradual, built over years, quietly, through small experiences. That slowly reshaped how you see yourself. Think about it. There was a time when you didn't question everything, when you didn't overanalyze every look, every interaction, every signal. You just experienced it naturally. But then something changed. Maybe it was rejection, maybe it was being ignored, maybe it was moments where you thought something meant something, and it didn't. And those moments left an impression, not loud, not obvious, but deep, because each time you adjusted. You told yourself, don't assume, don't get it wrong again, don't read too much into things. And at first, that sounds logical, even smart. But over time, it turns into something else. It turns into doubt, constant doubt. You stop trusting what you feel. You stop trusting what you see. You stop trusting yourself. And once that happens, everything becomes uncertain, even things that are clear. Now here's where it gets even more subtle, because it's not just your experiences. It's what you've been told, repeatedly, indirectly. That attraction follows rules, that it belongs to certain types of men, certain ages, certain looks, certain behaviors. And if you don't match that image, you assume it's not for you. So when something contradicts that belief, you reject it, not because it's wrong, but because it doesn't fit your identity. And identity is powerful, because you don't just see the world as it is, you see it as you are. So if you see yourself as average, you will interpret every signal through that lens. You will minimize attention, you will dismiss interest, you will explain away attraction, not because it's not there, but because it doesn't match who you think you are. Now think about how deep that goes. A woman looks at you. She smiles, there's a moment, but instead of asking, "What was that?" you immediately say, "That's not for me." Not consciously, but internally, automatically. And that automatic response is conditioning. Now here's the part most men don't want to hear. That voice in your head, that says, "It's nothing. That's not reality." That's protection. Protection from being wrong. Protection from embarrassment. Protection from hope. Because hope feels risky. So your mind chooses safety, even if it means ignoring reality. Now understand this clearly. You were not born doubting yourself. You learned it. And anything learned can be unlearned. But only if you see it. Only if you recognize it. Because once you see the pattern, you realize something powerful. The problem was never your attractiveness. It was your interpretation of it. You were filtering reality through outdated beliefs, through past experiences that no longer apply. And because of that, you kept yourself small, not externally, but internally. Now let's go even deeper, because this isn't just about women. This is about perception in general. When people don't trust themselves, they look outward for validation. They need confirmation. They need proof. They need someone else to tell them what is real. But the man who understands this shift moves differently. He doesn't rush to confirm. He doesn't need everything explained. He observes, he notices patterns, he allows things to exist before labeling them. And because of that, he sees more. He understands more. He connects dots others don't even notice. And this is where the real shift happens. Because once you stop doubting, you don't become arrogant. You don't start assuming everything means something. You become accurate. You see things as they are, without exaggeration, without dismissal, just clarity. Now ask yourself this honestly. How many times have you doubted something that later turned out to be real? How many times did you feel something and ignore it? How many opportunities passed because you chose not to trust yourself? That's the cost. Not rejection, not failure, but missed awareness. And awareness is everything. Because once you start trusting what you see, you don't need to chase anymore. You don't need to guess. You don't need to overthink. You simply recognize. And recognition changes everything. Now we arrive at the part most men never truly understand. Because up until now, you've been focused on the moment, the look, the smile, the signal, but none of that is the core. The real question is, what is she actually responding to? Because it's not random, and it's not what you think. Most explanations will tell you something simple. She likes confidence, and then they stop there. But that's surface level. That doesn't explain anything. Because what is confidence, really? Not the version people talk about, not loud behavior, not dominance, not trying to stand out. Real confidence is something much quieter. It's something people feel before you say anything. And what she's responding to is not performance, it's presence. Now let's slow this down, because this is where everything changes. When you walk into a space, you're not trying to be seen. You're not scanning the room for approval. You're not adjusting yourself to fit into the environment. You're just there. And that just being there is more powerful than most men realize, because most men are not actually present. They're thinking, they're calculating, they're reacting, they're constantly asking, how am I being perceived? What should I say? How do I come across? And that internal noise leaks into their behavior. It shows up in their body language, in their timing, in their energy. They feel restless, unsettled, and people pick up on that instantly. But you're different, not because you're trying to be, but because you've stopped chasing that validation. You've stopped needing every moment to mean something. You've stopped trying to control how people see you, and because of that, something shifts. You become still, not physically, but internally, and that internal stillness creates something powerful, containment. Now this is the part no one explains properly. Containment is the ability to hold your energy without leaking it, without over-expressing, without trying to push it onto others. You're not trying to impress. You're not trying to be liked. You're not trying to extract anything from the moment. You're just stable. And stability is rare, extremely rare, because most people are reactive, emotionally, socially. They adjust constantly. They mirror others unconsciously. They seek feedback. But when someone encounters a man who is contained, who is not reacting, who is not shifting, who is not trying, it creates contrast. And that contrast is what she feels, not consciously, but immediately. Her nervous system picks it up before her mind explains it, before she labels it, before she even understands it. She feels this is different. Now here's where it gets deeper, because what she's feeling is not just attraction, it's ease. Because when you're not trying to take something, she doesn't feel pressure. She doesn't feel evaluated. She doesn't feel like she has to perform. She can just exist for a moment. And that feeling is incredibly rare, because most interactions today are filled with tension, expectation, hidden agendas, emotional noise. But with you, there's none of that. There's space, there's calm, there's clarity, and that clarity creates safety. Not dramatic safety, not physical safety, but emotional safety, predictability, groundedness. She knows, without thinking, that you're not going to shift suddenly, you're not going to overreact, you're not going to create chaos, and that matters more than most men realize, because attraction often follows safety, not the other way around. Now let's go even deeper, because there's another layer here, one that most men completely miss. She's not just responding to your presence, she's responding to your lack of need. You don't need the moment. You don't need her reaction. You don't need validation. And that lack of need is what creates gravity. Because people are drawn to those who are not trying to draw them in. It's paradoxical, but it's real. Now think about the difference. A man who wants something from the interaction leans forward, subtly. He tries to extend it, control it, turn it into something. But a man who doesn't need anything stays where he is, and that stillness becomes magnetic, because now the dynamic shifts. She starts leaning in, not physically at first, but psychologically. She becomes curious without knowing why. Now here's the key realization. That smile, that moment, was not about your looks. It was not about something you did. It was about something you carry, something internal, something you don't even think about anymore. And that's why you miss it, because you're used to it. You think it's normal, but it's not. It's rare. And once you understand that, everything changes. You stop trying to be attractive. You stop adjusting. You stop performing, because you realize you were never being evaluated. You were being experienced, and that's a completely different dynamic. Now ask yourself this: have you ever been in a moment where you did nothing, yet something still happened, where you weren't trying, yet you were noticed, where you weren't speaking, yet people reacted to you? That's what this is. That's what she's responding to. Not effort, not performance, not strategy, presence. And once you understand that, you don't try to create attraction anymore. You allow it. So now, take a step back, not from the video, but from yourself, from how you've been seeing things up until now. Because if you really understood what we just talked about, then something should feel different. Not dramatically, not emotionally, but subtly, clearer. Because this was never about learning something new. It was about seeing something that was already there. And for the first time, not dismissing it, because the moment you stop dismissing, you stop doubting. And when you stop doubting, everything shifts, not externally at first, but internally. You stop asking, what did that mean? You stop analyzing every interaction. You stop looking for confirmation, because you don't need it anymore. You saw it, you felt it, you understood it, and that understanding removes confusion. Now here's where most men get it wrong. They think this realization means they should act differently, that they should approach more, say more, do more, but that's not the shift. The shift is not in your actions, it's in your perception. Because before, you were trying to create something. Now, you're recognizing something. Before, you were chasing validation. Now, you're aware of attention. Before, you were questioning every signal. Now, you're seeing patterns. And that difference changes everything, because a man who is trying feels different than a man who understands. One is reaching, the other is grounded, one is reacting, the other is observing. And people feel that difference immediately. Now let's go deeper, because this is where identity comes in. Most men are still operating from an outdated version of themselves, a version that had to prove something, a version that had to earn attention, a version that didn't feel enough without validation. And even though you've changed, even though your presence has changed, even though your energy is different now, your identity didn't catch up, so you keep reacting. As if you're still that person. You keep doubting, you keep minimizing, you keep dismissing, not because it's true, but because it's familiar. and familiarity. Feel safe, even when it's wrong. But the moment you see this, you can't go back. Because now you realize something simple. You were never invisible. You were just quiet. And quiet is misunderstood until someone feels it, until someone notices it, until someone responds to it. And that response is what you've been ignoring. Now here's the shift, the real one. You don't need to become more attractive. You don't need to fix anything. You don't need to learn tricks. You don't need to change your behavior. You need to update your perception of yourself. Because once your internal identity matches your external reality, there's no conflict anymore. There's no hesitation. There's no second guessing. There's just clarity. And clarity creates confidence, not forced confidence, not loud confidence, but quiet certainty. The kind that doesn't need to prove anything. The kind that doesn't need to be seen because it already knows. Now think about how that changes your behavior. You don't rush moments. You don't overanalyze. You don't try to turn every signal into something. You allow things to exist. You let interactions breathe. You stay grounded. And because of that, people adjust to you, not the other way around. Now here's the final realization, the one that changes everything. Not every smile is an invitation. Not every look means something more, but none of them are meaningless. Some are curiosity, some are recognition, some are attraction, but all of them are responses to something real. And that something is you. Not what you do, not what you say, not what you try to be, but what you carry. Your presence, your stability, your clarity. And once you understand that, you stop asking, what should I do? Because that question no longer matters. You don't need to act, you don't need to chase, you don't need to prove, you simply remain. And that's where real power is, quiet, unforced, unshaken. Now, if you made it this far, I want you to do something simple. Comment. I understand, not for me, but for yourself, as a marker, that from this point forward, you don't shrink moments anymore. You don't dismiss signals anymore. You don't doubt yourself the same way anymore. Because now you see, and once you see, you don't go back.